Hi, everyone. Are you a mom that's looking to create boundaries around your adult children, maybe for the first time? So I want to talk about that today. But first, those of you that are brand new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked a difficult road with my own daughter for over 10 years. And while her life spiraled, so did mine. Boundaries is something that we need in our life, whether you're having difficulties with your adult children or not. We need boundaries around a lot of areas of our life. We need boundaries with almost every single person that we have a relationship with. Boundaries doesn't have to be this huge, gigantic word that seems all enticing and like kind of setting the hammer down. Sometimes it is that, depending on what you're going through with your child, especially. But one thing I want you to think about up front is respect. So boundaries is really self-respect and respecting the other person, right? So your emotional well-being will be affected by having these boundaries in a good way, right? This is going to be able to provide you with more peace. It's going to provide you with less frustration. You're not going to get triggered as often, right? When these boundaries are in place. So when you know that you've created them, you've presented them, and you feel good about what you've done, then over time, a period of time, I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately, but over a period of time, you're going to be very set in the fact that this is what you've set down. This is good. You feel comfortable with it, whether they agree or whether they abide by them or not. Okay. So it's going to give you some emotional well-being. And I think that's so important. Secondly is maintaining the healthy relationships when possible, right? So if you're a mom and maybe you're just starting out on this journey and you're struggling with, different types of things that need boundaries. Maybe your adult child is being disrespectful. Maybe they are living in your home and they're not listening to anything you have to say as far as participating in the home or all of that. So whenever possible, a boundary is best case scenario, a boundary is going to provide it's going to provide less resentment, more understanding in a relationship because you two are going to get each other more. There's going to be that respect. Now, I know a lot of you are dealing with a lot of disrespect. And so with that, it is going to be a little bit more difficult. They may not like them, and that's okay. Because, like I always say, if they don't like the boundary, that means all the more so that it was needed, right? The whole goal here is to lessen your frustration and to lessen you being triggered by certain things. Some boundaries are really easy to create. Some are a little bit more difficult because they all have consequences when they're broken, right? So I want you to define your boundaries. Only you know what it is that triggers you. So I want you to reflect on your personal values, on your needs, your limits, the things that you want to tolerate in your life, and explain that, when you do present that, explain that your own self-awareness of your needs and what you think is going on with them, that those boundaries will be for both of your well-being. And if they disagree with you, I would encourage you to turn on those listening ears and see what they have to say. They may not present it in the most respectful way. They may come back at you and have a lot to say, but at the end of that conversation, you might learn so much, right? If it's doable where you can actually have that conversation, listen to the hard stuff to a point, obviously, and really be able to get that feeling of, okay, I understand really deep down what maybe their triggers are. So you guys can come to an understanding, and that's ideal, right? That when possible, that is ideal. I know it doesn't always look that way, but for some moms it does. And so I wanted to mention that. But you want to communicate clearly. Communication, open and honest communication with them is the best avenue, 100%. Using your I statements, making sure that these are how you feel. Like, I feel that I need this. I need this, not you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. Okay? That puts people on the defense immediately. And so you want to use the I statements. It's really important. And, I want you to remember that this does not make you a bad mom. I know a lot of moms feel like, oh, if I set these boundaries, or if I'm not tolerating the nasty texts anymore, or the nasty phone calls or emails, and I feel like I have to reply to them because they're my child. you don't. There's nothing wrong with taking a pause for that too. There's nothing wrong with temporarily, not accepting their calls or temporarily blocking them just so you have some peace of mind. It's one thing to do that on social media. It's a little bit more deliberate on your phone. But I know you can do it. If that's a point in your relationship where you're at, it's okay to temporarily do that. And I just want to give you permission, because sometimes people need that. Sometimes people feel that I'm a horrible mom if I do that. And so really it is self-protection mode. Sometimes we get to that point where it's self-protection mode. So if that's you and you're dealing with all of this, I do want to also welcome you to my new course. It's called Struggle to Strength. And there will be a link here down below, but this is an opportunity for you to dive in deep with a group of other moms who are doing the same. There is a live call component to this course. So you can get all the information below, but at a high level, it really is, I've taken all the things that I've learned from coaching so many moms over the years and the things I dealt with personally, and I know the things that are holding you back. And so we're going to dive into all of these subjects, and then we're going to have live calls weekly so we can dive into any of your questions that you have around any of the topics and get in a little bit deeper in your own personal story. So I hope that helps. I hope to see you there. You can click the link below. I'll see you soon.